Hello everyone, I'm Sean and welcome back to the channel. This is video number 4 in my great guitar build-off of 2022. 3 years in a row. Not too bad. So this year we are building a bass guitar. It's a short scale bass, it's going to have a faceted neck, it's going to have a lovely ash top, walnut body, all that good stuff. If you haven't seen any of the other videos, make sure to head back, check them all out. You know, they're kind of cool and you get to see it evolve, well, step by step. Anyway, get yourself a nice hot cup of tea, coffee, whiskey, beer, tequila, I guess. Why not? Get comfortable and enjoy. Just to recap where we left it on the last video, we worked predominantly on the neck. So we've got some binding, we've got a side profile, we've got a nice scoop for the headstock, and we also took the body and we pretty much cut that and sanded it up to the final shape. And now, when you hold the two together, you can pretend it's a finished instrument. To kick things off on this video, it's back to the neck. Before I do anything else, I want to put some inlays into this guy. I'm going for a more understated style of inlay this time, whereby I've gotten these pieces of ebony, got a decent amount of it, thicknessed it down to about 3mm, and we're going to put it in from the side, like that. So from the face, it's quite obvious, it's going to be a nice square bar, and from the side, you're also going to get that nice square bar on it. I think that's going to look really, really, really cool. It's going to fit this whole style nicely, just with the faceted neck, and of course, remember we're going to do a hollow headstock. That's probably going to have facets in it, probably. And we're also going to have a nice carve on the top. There's going to be kind of angles and corners, I guess. So some nice square inlays are going to work really, really nicely. To do all of this, I have a Dremel. And I have this jig, I guess you could call it. Essentially, it's 2 pieces of MDF with straight edges that I have glued together in this pattern at that angle, and this angle matches the fret slots perfectly. That means I can use this edge as a fence for the Dremel bass. Essentially hold it up against there, and away we go. First of all, of course, I have to mark out where all of my inlays are going. Okay, first things first, I need to make sure that I'm on the correct fret. After that, I can figure out where the center point of the fret is, which is right there, and then I'm going to measure the offset of the center of the router bit to the edge of the bass, which I've measured beforehand. And then I simply grab this guy. I'm going to make a bit more obvious mark, and when I line that up there, and that should be it. I hope you can see with these that it is pretty much perfectly lined up with that fret slot. So I am going to just use super glue masking tape to stick this down exactly where it needs to be. And then I'm going to set my adjustable square to, let's say, 15mm. And that is going to be as far as we go. Yeah, that looks about right to me. Next, all there is to do is to route the channel. Inlays are in. What do you guys think? I'm delighted with them. I made the decision, instead of having the ends cornered and square, I made them rounded. I just liked it. That's it, pure and simple. The next step is one of my favorites. It's carving the neck. I'm going to use a technique called faceting. It's a technique I've used before, and to be perfectly honest, it's the one I use all the time at the moment because it's really good, it's really quick, and it's very repeatable, which is always nice. To do this, I'm going to use the Shinto saw rasp. This guy right here is like the holy grail of neck carving. If you don't have one of these, I absolutely encourage you to go get one. Anyway, let's get marking out and let's get finding the neck inside of this. Of course, I am doing it a faceted neck, so I'm only going to do that first facet and leave it at that. There's going to be corners and all kinds of things, but I'm going to make it asymmetric so that instead of the center line being in the center, it's going to be offset and offset, and yeah, it should make for a very nice, very comfortable neck. All right, guys, we have one carved faceted neck. And it feels really, really cool. It's a slightly different facet carve to what I would usually do if I was doing, say, a C-shaped profile. So it's just kind of strange, but I really like it. You almost don't notice it's quite there. There is still more work to be done, some final sanding and everything, which I will do later because the heel area isn't yet carved. I want to hold off until I have a neck pocket so that I can draw exactly the profile of the body at that area and carve it up nicely. Once I have that done, I will then sand it all up. There's a couple of, the facets have kind of sharper corners at the moment, and I'm going to just knock them off later on as well. But for now, we put it aside because essentially we need to start prepping for frets. We won't get them done in this episode, but we can get ready for them. That means putting a radius on this currently flat neck. Fretboard, in fact, not the neck, the fretboard. For this build, I've decided to go with a 14-inch radius, which, just from asking people around, it's a nice radius. Not going to do a compound this one, which is quite unusual for me, but hey, I'm open to try new things. The first thing I need to do for radiusing a fretboard is make sure that it's actually straight and flat and level, because you do not want to put a radius onto a out of straight neck. Essentially, you're just going to give this weird scoop, and you don't want that. Now, as I kind of hoped and expected, you can put your hand over the radius thing and that will let the light through a bit easier. So this is actually perfectly flat already and we don't need to do anything. So I'm just going to scribble on this whole thing and go nuts with some 80 grit paper stuck to a radius block. And that is it for this video, guys. We got a decent amount done today. And, well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. I got to carve a neck, so of course I had a lot of fun today. I'm so happy with how this fretboard came out. It's really subtle, but you can tell it's book matched. I kind of knew that a little bit of oil would bring out the color and everything, and it did. I'm happy, I'm delighted. I hope you like the inlays. Let me know what you think about inlays like this down in the comment section. That it's the same inlay on the front and on the sides. I think they're super cool. I really like them. And yeah, I might do more of them in the future. We'll see. Anyway, make sure to hit like and subscribe, comment on the video, hit the bell notification for the next episodes. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all again real soon.